very good morning, students. Welcome to Aman Sodi School of Mathematics. In today's class, we are going to discuss exercise 14.3, chapter 14, factorization. Till the previous videos, we have already covered textbook questions of exercise 14.1 and 14.2. I hope you have solved the remaining questions and I hope there are no doubts in that. So let's start with exercise 14.3. In today's exercise, we are going to do division of algebraic expressions. That means we are going to solve the questions based on division of monomial by a monomial, division of polynomial by a monomial, and division of polynomial by polynomial. For each of the questions, I will solve some of the parts, and remaining parts, like I have been telling you earlier also, as you keep on practicing maths, you will get better at it. So please try and solve the remaining parts on your own. In case you find any problem, you can leave a message in the comment box. So let's start with question number 1. In question number 1, we are supposed to carry out the division for the two numbers or the two monomials which are given. Since each of these has one term only, so it is known as a monomial. So now the term can be written as 34 x cube y cube z cube. Instead of division, we can write it in the form of fraction also, or we can write it as 51 x y square z cube. In the expanded form, we can write this as 34 multiplied by x cube means x multiplied by x multiplied by x. Y cube means 3 times multiplication of y, and similarly z cube means 3 times multiplication of z. And this whole is going to be divided by 51 multiplied by x multiplied by y square can be written as y multiplied by y, and z cube can be written as z multiplied by z multiplied by z. Now clearly 34 and 51 are both divisible by 17, so we can cancel this. 17 2s are 34 and 17 3s are 51. One of the x can be cancelled with the denominator. Similarly, two y's can also be cancelled with the denominator, and z cube means all the three z's can be cancelled. So in this case, we are left with 2 multiplied by x multiplied by x multiplied by y in the numerator, and in denominator we are left with only 3. So the answer can be written as 2 upon 3 x square y. So this is the way you solve the question. In case you want to write it in the expanded form, in case you want to write the answer directly, that also you can do just by looking at the terms and applying the powers and exponents. That also a method you can apply. Moving on to the next question now. In this question, we can write the term as 12 a raised to power 8 b raised to the power 8 divided by minus 6 a raised to power 6 b raised to power 4. Now most of the times we have seen that students forget to write the sign of minus when they are solving the questions. Please don't do that. Whatever sign is given with the term, you are supposed to write it along with solving the question. So here clearly 6 and 12 can be cancelled. When we are solving the powers for a, the power for numerator a is a raised to the power 8, and in denominator the power is a raised to the power 6. So when you solve this, or when you cancel the terms here, you will get a raised to the power 2. How a raised to the power 2? Because a raised to the power 8 can be written as a raised to the power 2 multiplied by a raised to the power 6. I hope you remember the laws of exponents. Divided by a raised to the power 6. Similarly, b raised to power 8 can be written as b raised to power 4 multiplied by b raised to power 4 upon b raised to power 4. So a raised to power 6 and a raised to power 6 can be cancelled, and 1 b raised to power 4 can be cancelled with the denominator. So the answer can be written as 2 upon minus 1 multiplied by a square multiplied by b raised to power 4. Or this simply can be written as minus 2 a square b raised to power 4. So this is the answer that you get on solving the question. In the next one, we are going to divide the terms. Now, if you see the first term clearly, it is a polynomial. It has got 3 terms, so it is a trinomial. And the second term is a monomial. So let's write the term in fraction form first of all. 8 multiplied by x cube y square z square plus x square y cube z square plus x square y square z cube. The whole term is divided by 4 x square y square z square. Now from the numerator, from each of these terms, we can take out x, y and z common. Whatever is the smallest power of x, that you are supposed to take out common. For example, if you compare, x square is common in all of these. So we can take out x square common. Similarly, if you compare the powers of y, the smallest power of y again is y square. So you can take out y square common, and the smallest power of z is also z square. So we can take out z square common. Now from the first term, since x square we have taken out common, so that means from 3, 2 powers have gone out, so only 1 is left, that means only one x is left. Y square and z square is already taken out common, so no need to write that again. Similarly from the second one, x square is common and z square is common. From y cube we have taken out y square common, so 1 y will be left here. And similarly from the last term, 1 z will be left. So this is your term left in the numerator after taking out the common term. Whole divided by 4 x square y square z square. Now here clearly you can cancel these terms, and 4 and 8 can also be cancelled. So your answer will be equal to 2 multiplied by x plus y plus z. I hope this question is clear to you. Moving on to the next one now. Again, we write the given question in the fraction form. P cube q raised to power 6 minus p raised to power 6 cube whole divided by p cube q cube. Now, from the numerator, if we compare the powers of p, the smaller power of p is p cube. So let's take out that common. And if we compare the powers of q cube is common. So from the first bracket, since this number is or this term is already taken out common, and from q raised to power 6 cube is taken out common, so the remaining term that is left is q cube minus, similarly from the second one, p cube will be left, whole divided by p cube q cube. So these terms can be cancelled, and the answer that is left is q cube minus p cube. So I hope this question is again clear to you. Moving on to question number 3 now. Here we have got the term 9x square y square in brackets 3z minus 24 in the numerator, whole divided by 27xy bracket z minus 8. So if you remember in exercise 14.1, we have done the questions in which we have taken out the common factor and then we have solved the question. So similar thing we are going to apply here also. From the numerator, if you see clearly, from 3z and minus 24, we can take out 3 common. So when we take it out, we put the sign of multiplication by 3, and inside the bracket now 3 is taken out common, so only z is left. And similarly from 24, if we take out 3 common, so 3 8s are 24, so 8 is left. Whole divided by 27xy multiplied by z minus 8. So when you start cancelling the terms, obviously 9 and 27 can be cancelled first. 1x can be cancelled with x square, so only x will be left. 1y can be cancelled with y square, so only y will be left. And z minus 8 and z minus 8 can also be cancelled. Since all these terms are in multiplication, that is the reason we can cancel these terms. So we are left with now 3 and 3 can also be cancelled here since they are in multiplication. So in the numerator you are left with the term only xy, and there is no other term left in the denominator, so only xy will be your answer in this case. Moving on to next question now. 96 ABC. From the first bracket, if we take out 3 common, we can write it as multiply by 3, and in the brackets we'll be left with a minus 4. Similarly, from the second bracket, we can take out 5 common. So if we take out 5 common, in the brackets we'll be left with b minus 6. You have to mentally calculate it. When we open the brackets, it will be 5b minus 30, which will again bring us to the same term. Whole term divided by 144 multiplied by a minus 4 multiplied by b minus 6. Now since the terms in numerator are also in multiplication, so it is easy to cancel the terms. A minus 4 and a minus 4 can be cancelled. B minus 6 can be cancelled with b minus 6. 96 and 144 both are divisible by the table of 12, so we can cancel these terms. 12 8s are and 12 12s are. Again we can cancel with the table of 4. 4 2s are and 4 3s are. Now 3 and 3 can also be cancelled. So the terms that are left in the numerator are 2abc multiplied by 5, and in the denominator there is no term left, so we can just write the denominator as 1. So in the next step the answer will be 2 and 5 will be multiplied here, so 2 5s are 10, and along with that the variables a, b, c, so your answer will be equal to 10 abc. I hope this question is also clear to you. Now moving on to question number 4. In this part we are given the question 26xy in brackets we have x plus y and y minus 4 whole divided by 13x multiplied by y minus 4. Be very careful, you can cancel the terms only when they are in multiplication. So here y minus 4 and y minus 4 can be cancelled. 13 ones are and 13 twos are 26 can be cancelled, and x can be cancelled with the x in numerator. So in the numerator you are left with the terms 2y and x plus y, and in the denominator you are left only with 1. If the denominator is 1, so we can also write the answer as 2yx plus 5. So I hope this question is again clear to you. Now let's move on to question number 5. In question number 5, we are supposed to factorize the expressions and then we are supposed to divide them. We have already done the process of factorization in the previous exercise also. So let's see how we are going to factorize the numerator first. From the numerator, if you see all the terms clearly, 5 can be taken out common. So after taking out the common term 5, the terms which are left inside are p square minus 5p plus 4, and in the denominator the term given is p minus 1. So now let's factorize the numerator. If you remember the method of factorization, we are supposed to split the middle term in such a way that for 4 we can write the number or the product as of two numbers. For example, for 4 I can take the combination 1 multiplied by 4, or I can also take the combination 2 multiplied by 2. Now 2 plus 2 on addition will give me 4 and 2 minus 2 on subtraction will give me 0. So nowhere it is forming the term minus 5. Whereas if I add 1 and 4, my answer will be equal to 5. So let's see how we are going to split the middle term. P square minus p minus 4p plus 4. So clearly when you multiply 1 and 4, you'll get the answer 4, which is your last term. And on adding 1 plus 4, you'll get the answer as 5, which gives you the middle term. Whole divided by p minus 1. Now while writing this step also, sometimes the children get so much involved in factorization that they forget to write the denominator. You have to take the denominator along in each and every step. Please don't leave it behind. In the next step, let's take out the common terms. From p square and minus p, we can take out p common. So inside the brackets, we'll be left with p minus 1. Similarly, from minus 4p and 4, like I have told you, whatever term you are forming in the first bracket, the same term has to come in the second bracket also. So in order to form p minus 1 in the second bracket, we need to take out minus 4 common. And this whole is divided by p minus 1. Now from these two, p minus 1 is common. So we can write this as 5 bracket p minus 1. And the other term that is left is p minus 4. And this whole is divided by p minus 1. Now clearly p minus 1 and p minus 1 can be cancelled. So the answer can be written as 5 times p minus 4. So I hope all the steps are clear to you. You have to revise exercise 14.2, in which we have done all the questions for factorization to understand the method of factorization, because its application is used in this exercise. Please drop a message in the comment box and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.